Hey guys, my name is Yeps,
My name is Yeps.
and welcome to today's guide, which is player-owned farms for dummies. Because let's face it, if you haven't done player-owned farms yet, you are a dummy. This is like the best way to get XP passively, and it can be a huge moneymaker as well, and it's just ballin'. So it's time for you to get acquainted. This is going to be kind of a long guide, apologize for that, but it is definitely comprehensive enough to get you up to speed so that you know what you're doing at the player-owned farms and you know your way around the place. So in order to make this a little bit more user-friendly, I have made timestamps. They're going to be in the description down below if you want to check something more specifically. I do go through most of the interfaces and the farmers market and different things like that, so hopefully it will help you to be able to see a visual of all these things as I walk through them. I know that sometimes it's confusing just to read wiki pages all day long and not be able to see it in action. So that's what we'll try to do today. Alright guys, so let's do this off the cuff. We're going to do this kind of unscripted. So this is the player-owned farm. As you see, it is very large. It's mostly this big house, and then also these pens all around. As you see on the map up here, there's multiple different pens. There are two larges, which are this one right here in the top left, and then the bottom right, so southeast, northwest. Those are the two large pens. These aren't super important to know off the top of your head yet. You'll learn from experience for sure. The north middle is a medium, and then the east middle is a medium. You have the two smalls in the southwest, and then the northeast is a breeding pen. So that's kind of the general landscape here. So probably the most important thing in the beginning is knowing the NPCs. The most important one here is probably Granny Potterington. She's kind of like the head honcho of this place. She runs the place here with her trusty dog, Sam the sheepdog. And so Granny is where you can have the farmer's market, access that. So here is where all the upgrades are for the entire player-owned farm area around. And I guess to get more specific on these, you start off and you only have, I believe, one of these pens. You'll have like one small, one medium, and actually you only have a small when you begin. Look at that. So you'll get a second. This is like the deed to a second small one. This the deed to your first one, deed first medium, first large. Then you get the bank chest here, and you pretty much build this place from the ground up. That's kind of how it goes initially. You eventually get a second medium, a second large, and yeah, different things like. Anyway, we'll get to these other kind of things here soon. You can also buy your initial animals here. They sell the very beginner ones. So you can get a chicken egg for the small pen, a sheep and ram for the medium pen, and a cow for the large pens. Those are going to be your first ones that you'll get. So you'll probably, I would recommend instead of doing this, probably just going to the GE and buying like chicken egg. It'll say chicken egg unchecked or sheep unchecked. And that's how you can tell on the Grand Exchange that you're buying the right item, right? And then you will check them. I mean, let's head to my bank real quick. Maybe I have an unchecked just to show you what it's like. So yeah, let's say, boom, I got a sheep right here. So as you see in this bottom corner, it's called a white U, I think it's how it's pronounced. Anyway, but it says unchecked next to it. You can see it's worth, what, 12,000 on the GE, not much. So when you check it, you click it, and then it will say its stats. If you click left click or click get info on it, it'll pull it up here. So it's a child currently. This just means that it has to grow up still. It was just born, you know, and yeah, we can see this. So we'll get to traits in a little bit, but first off, the breed, it'll say this. There are many different breeds. I will show you those in a little bit as well, but just know that they exist, the different breeds. And then your animal is going to be either male or female. Obviously, since we're going to be breeding animals, you'll need a male and a female in order to breed them successfully. Usually this weight and speed and stuff like that doesn't really matter too much. I've never at least come across a need to know any of this information. I'm currently 113 farming, so we're getting up there slowly. At like 50 mil XP or 53 something, so we're doing our runs. Anyway, here, another important thing is this is health and happiness. These are two important meters as well. When they are when they have food available, they will be happy and they will be healthy as well. Typically if you run out of food, they will become diseased, and then their happiness and health will obviously both start to plummet. The only thing you have to do to really get them to go up again, maybe I'll find some dead ones, right? Actually, I do. I'll show you. So right now, over here, for example, I don't have these zygomites. They don't have any food. Oh no, it's empty. So if we, I have the icons. This is a later thing. You can get these little icons above their head. However, if we look in here, once again, we see the happiness and the health. We see the breeds. This is a female, and it has traits. We'll get to that later. So these are elders as well. So they go from child like this, or an egg if it's dinosaurs or a dragon. It'll go to child, to adolescent, to adult, and then to elders. There are four different tiers of ages, and they're varying in time. They take different amounts of time depending on the breed. Large animals will take, I think dragons take a week to go from an egg to a elder dragon. Other ones take fewer. I think it might be 4 days for a zygomite, something like that. They vary, and not super important to know. You'll kind of pick that up as you go. However, okay, so this is an elder, and look at this, boom. No health, no happiness. There's no joy when you have no food. Because then they get sick, and that's what this little skull means. Once again, you don't see the skull, don't freak out. It's just a thing that you'll unlock later, just to be able to quickly see a visual of how, if they're diseased or not. So I would just recommend not to go too into depth on this, but you'll want to look at the wiki, just under player-owned farms, and then look up curing diseases. There's definitely something there. Just Control F, look for your disease. And anyway, you'll have to check their different body parts, and they will be telling if they are sick. So like their eyes are fine, the legs a little stiff, stomach. Making a weird clicking noise. Anyway, I know this from just doing this 1,000 times, but it's the bone rattle treatment. Boom, it's cured. The skull goes away, right? And they get a little bit of health and happiness back when you do cure them. However, this doesn't shoot them back up to 100, you know? And so, once again, it's still, this trough for food is still empty. So within, a day or a few hours even, our IV zygomite here will go back to 0 health and happiness because we didn't start the healing process, start the rehabilitation process of getting them fed and healthy again. So anyway, why is that important? Why is it important to keep them happy and healthy? It didn't used to be in previous updates. They changed it, I don't know, 6 months plus ago, so that we actually do have to feed them. And as you see in this bottom left button, we've talked about cure disease on the right. Remove just means you take them out of the pen. Left, gather produce. This means that you're going to, it won't let me because I haven't clicked this, but this says the animal's health and happiness is less than 100%, which means you are receiving 20% of the maximum XP. Do you still want to gather produce? So briefly, when you gather produce, you're basically taking, or each, it's kind of like how if you have a sheep, you shear the wool and then you get some produce from the sheep. You know what I mean? So these, you'll get some, I think some types of like zygomite fruit or mycelium webbing. You'll kind of get some random, mushroomy type materials off of them only once when you gather produce, and you're not able to gather produce again off of them. Just one per player on farm animal. So when they are not healthy, and you try to gather at 20%, you're only going to get 20% of the XP. You get XP as well when you gather the produce. Produce plus XP on that button right there, gather produce. So you're going to get 1/5 the XP that you normally get. That's super bad. So obviously it's really important that you then, for instance right now, you would feed them again, get them healthy, back to 100, and then gather produce so that you get 5 times more XP. So that's a little bit more about the basic buttons involved with interface and kind of what they do. So let's head back to Granny over here, kind of show you what other stuff that this NPC has. So talk to her, obviously. So there are different contracts that you can do around here, maybe, or requests. Sorry, I'll get to that in a little bit. One important thing is right here. Let's say, look at all these. This, once again, you won't see these, but these shears above their head, or sickles, or whatever these are, that means that they're ready to be gathered, right? And then when you gather them, you'll end up, let's see if I can grab one. I don't really care. A lot of these, all right, let's just say I remove one, right? Or I gather produce, it'll go to this. The gather produce button will be off. Then I can just remove them out of the pen. When you remove it out of the pen, obviously it comes to your inventory here. And then you're just gonna have a cobalt chinchampa. So I mean, they're not worth anything if you look. 1 GP, I'm rich, right? They're not worth anything, but there is a street value associated with every animal, which I can get to a little bit later as well. But what you're gonna want to do is actually sell these for beans, and beans are gonna be the currency of this entire, shindig we got here. If we go back to the farmer's market, you can see in this bottom right, I have 1,000 beans right now, which is very low because I spent them all. But each thing here, if you wanted to buy a sheep from here, boom, 30 beans. Cow, 100 beans. Other ones, 500. This is also the currency that you unlock the medium pens, the chest, all this good stuff. That is the currency of this place. So how do you sell one? Well, at this well right here, around it are going to be different NPCs. You have to invite the correct ones to come. This is a chinchampa collector. You've got a spider shopper and a dragon expert. So in order to get these people here, we need to go to Granny, go to contract options, and then we need to go to, can we advertise what we're selling? When we do this, she will ask what type. So first, this is a small animal. So we can choose between chickens, rabbits, and chinchampas. If you're just starting off, you'll probably do chickens, or if you have a higher, once again, if you're starting this off and you have a higher level, I think chinchampas are only like level 50 or 60. Start on the ones that get you the most XP. I'd choose chinchampas for what I'm doing currently. It says great. I'll send in the buyer. What medium would you like? I'll click spiders. Then she'll send in the spider person. Mind you, I'll tell that in a second. Dragons is my last one. So she will then send them in. The thing about this is, it's annoying. Trust me, I really wish this would be different. But every day at game time, so if you look up here, it's 1937 currently, at 00 game time, at game reset, they will send in the new ones. So right now I'd have to wait 5 hours to get the new ones to come in. So I'm stuck with these ones. Let's say if I didn't want chinchampas, if I wanted to get a rabbit buyer, it would take 5 hours for it to reset, and then I could get it. And then if I wanted to switch back, it would take me 24 hours because once again, it's game reset. I believe that they are doing that. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I believe that it's game reset because it sure is not automatic. All right, hip hip hooray. So what else is there here? We talked about these. Each animal has its own kind of food. That's something important as well. So for instance, if we check the contents here, we have a trough is full of variety of food. Let me take it out and I'll show you. This turns into variety mush. There's also like floury mush and other kinds that just, once you put an item into the trough, you're not getting it back. So I put in woad leaves here, and it just turns into mush, and you can only then use it on the pens. I can't take the woad leaves out of here again and then resell it. I guess it's been contaminated by chinchampas, which just sounds quite nasty. So, so I'm pretty sure that for most things you can use woad leaves here in the small pens. I will leave a link to the wiki in the description, and you can look up the different foods that they eat. That's something important, but chinchampas, I use woad leaves. Sure, why don't I show you this real quick? This is the best place to go and get unlimited woad leaves, just because why the heck not? So if we go to Falador real quick, we click in here, It's where the giant mole is. There's this homeboy here. He's a farmer, and he loves to sell woad leaves. So, go right here by the big crawl down plants to get to the giant mole. It's this guy. His name's Wyson the Gardener. And if we buy woad leaves, you can, I mean, holy cow. If you wanted to click like 1 mil right here, that would be terrifying and you'd spend 25 mil. But but you can buy as many as you want. And it's actually pretty sweet because then you don't have to mess with GE stuff, and then you just, boom, you just have these. All right, let's hop back over there now. Run over here. Let's see if there's anything else on here. This is just toggle icons. I believe it's just the icons over the top. So what the heck does Sam the sheepdog do? So this is a breeding log, and I will get to this a little bit more in a few minutes. This is just going to be the basics, but you can see the different types of animals you've caught. We've talked a little bit about breeds and what kind of breeds you can get. This is where you see which types. I mean, if we're looking at rabbits here, or actually let's look at sheep. We've looked at sheep a little bit already. So I have had all 7 of the sheep, yay. So there are different breeds: white sheep, black sheep, summer down, spring sheared, winter world, fall faced, and golden sheep. So in order to get these different breeds, each one is kind of a little bit different. I mean, sheep may not be a great example because you need to change the season, which I will show you how to do in a bit. Maybe do chinchompas. So these are all the breeds of chinchompas. You can buy these all in the GE, kind of like how with this white sheep that I showed, it's going to have the, you know, you'll look up carnivorous chinchompa unchecked, and then that's the one you'll grab and you'll bring it here and throw it in your pen. And once you throw it in the pen, they will grow there until you can sell them for beans. And also make sure that you grow them until the elder stage for maximum XP. If you want maximum beans, I believe the adult, actually it may, no, I think it's the adolescent stage is best. But once again, you are sacrificing beans for XP. So I mean, are you sacrificing XP to get beans? Which depends on what you're going for. But obviously XP gains or life. Anyway, there are different breeds here. This is where you can see them all. And halfway down here, after dragons, this is underneath this huge amount down here, are all player-owned farm 2. And I will probably do a little beginner's guide on that as well here. But for right now, I'll just stick to the player-owned farm here. So, yeah, let's just like run over here. So this, let's check these out actually. So this is a totem. On yours, you'll see these empty kind of like void shapes. Like it just kind of shows you that it's a build spot, you know, kind of like in your player-owned house, you'll have a build spot and you'll be able to click here and click build farm totem. You get these farm totems from the farmer's market on Granny. Actually, yeah, they're right there. So farm totem, you'll just buy one, buy whatever. They're only 200 beans, which is a lot in the beginning, and they're not worth getting in the beginning, let me note. But later on, they're worth it. So, and when you do this, let's check it. It tells you what happens. In your public chat, you'll see it. It says this pen is currently granting 1 tier. This pen is currently granting 1 tier of Nigel's gift perk. All perks currently active from the large animals. Nigel's gift tier 1, a 2% chance to find a clue scroll, either when checking health in or harvesting the large crop from any patch. So that's pretty cool. So we like have a higher chance of getting clue scrolls. That's pretty sweet. I mean, and then this also shows you the other large pen over here. Remember in the bottom right. So I have dragons there, and it says Dragon Ultra Combo. A base 1 in 1,000 chance to find an effigy on check health or during harvest. So yeah, I guess we get a chance for effigies, which is really low. Holy cow, that is so low. But you know, it's a little bit better. And if you do 2 of the same type, they usually stack. Like I know for if you do spiders, which is pretty cool. Let's check this one real quick. Spiders is great. It's called the Nope Nope Nope, which I love because spiders are nope nope nope. Increases damage against all spiders by 2%. That's tier 1, and so once again, tier 2 would mean that you have 2 pens. So if I had 2 pens of spiders, then I'd have 2 times the, I guess, farm totem passives for these spiders. It would become a tier 2 nope nope nope, and it would be even more. I think it hops maybe up to 5%, or anyway, I think it's, I don't know exactly. Once again, you can look all these up I will have this in the description to look up all the different perks you can get from totems. Some of them are great. I really like, if you do racks, this applies, you know. This spider totem applies, which is absolutely awesome. You just get a big fat DPS increase, which is just splendid. So, okay, so for the most part, you don't really use this too much except for the sheep. So the sheep have to, remember there's different colored sheep. I'll just say this just because we're already on this topic, I guess. Let's go to Sam. So the different colored sheep, right? This is like a summer sheep, spring sheep, winter, fall. I mean, so this is called a seasonalizer. I just had it on summer just because I don't know. But you can change the actual weather of this entire place. If I wanted to make it winter. Oh, the sun is going down. It's getting colder out. Oh no. And now I guess it's winter. This is what I guess Jagex thinks winter looks like. But you can change it to anything. Maybe I'll do spring. Anyway, so for sheep, if they give birth during this time, then you will have a spring sheep or whatever other sheep. That's how that works. But besides that, I haven't found too many uses for this. I'll just click back to summer because it's summertime right now. And summer's happy. All right, so if we're running over here, blah, blah, blah. All right, let's talk about this breeding pen, yeah? There's another seasonalizer over here. So this is lay breeding pen. So what's special about this? Well, usually animals here will have a much faster rate of breeding, I believe. And I mean, mine are dead here because I have not done a good job. However, you can get a, what's it called? A farmhand here. And for instance, I have this chick right here named Kalia. And if you check, oh, I just collected, whoops. Anyway, you can check usually and she'll say she's not holding any animals for you. But when, all right. So when these animals in here, as you can see, I just had yaks in here previously. But when they give birth, there will be up to 4 in this pen. So it'll be 2 parents and like 2 children. And then there's like a spillover, right? So this, usually there's not a spillover, right? So if you don't collect them, you're not gonna get them. They just don't have more kids because there's only 4 spots for animals in this pen. And other ones are usually only 3 for the mediums and the larges. Actually, all right, that's a lie. 4 for mediums, 3 for the other ones, the large ones, and then 6 for the smalls. Anyway, once you hit 4 in here, they will spill over into Kalia if you get her, right? Once again, let's sprint over here, show you more stuff at the store. So, Farmer's Market, once more. Farmhands, look at this. I don't have most of these because I just don't care. At least I don't think they're very important because I'm not selling adolescents. So these will stop, if you look at this, stops animals growing past adolescence in any pen. Same thing, it costs 10 beans per use. So, or this one, that one's different. So you could have these other ones that'll stop them at adolescence, right? Remember, you need them to get to elder if you want most XP. Most important thing for that. But if you just want beans, you can stop them at adolescent, right? So you could then come here and sell these as adolescents and get mad beans. Or one thing you can do also is if you gather them at adolescents, people will then buy, I believe they buy them on the Discord, and stuff, because for whatever reason, they're just, I think you can grab the XP off them still from growing them from an adolescent to a elder, though I'm not entirely sure because I haven't really done that. So once again, comment below if you know the answer to that, and we can kind of have a more comprehensive knowledge of this. But yes, so farmhands. So I have Kalia here. You could also do, I haven't actually tried this. I haven't tried everything in this game, obviously. Adamantite. That's a funny name. But if you buy him, he will actually, for 100 beans, go and get an unchecked animal for you. So that could be quite lucrative, actually, depending on what he gets you. Though most of these spiders and stuff, I mean, spiders are usually like 150 to 200k. Yaks, let's check this. Yaks are like, oh, they're 300k right now almost. Pretty good. They were, this one's only 88k. Zygomites usually like 200k. I think dragons are like 300, 400. But anyway, that is kind of the function of this. So if you just want to get crazy noted ones here, I mean, check this. I just went AFK for, who knows, maybe like this is 5 days worth or something. But hey, look at that. got 5 mil or 4.6 mil just from nothing. These just breed and then shoot them into here and you collect them. That's pretty much it. Make sure you feed them, and then obviously they will breed faster, but I have been lazy, as you can tell. Yeah, so that's the breeding pen, pretty much it. If you wanna, anyway, if you wanna get shinies and stuff, that's where you put them as well, because then they go really fast. All right, blah, 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 we got our dragons here. All right, I think some of the last things here are going to be quests real quick. So these 3 fools right here, Harpoon, Aramesian, and Ifaba. There are different ones that come, I believe, but you look here, or you can look in the top left. So if you see up here, I have Senior Master Farmer. This shows like the XP that you have. You just get XP just from doing farming in general. Even I believe just herb runs and stuff will get you some points there. But so you'll see these are quests that will pop up actually, and you will get, I believe this is, yeah, like this is like a reputation boost for farming. The same thing up here. You can get a chance at a banana themed cosmetic, great white shark bait, 5 of them. So you kind of like get, they have different rewards that you can do, and they request things. So if you come back with, I believe 1 of each, I think you'd have to, it's the one time that I did it for livid farm stuff. I had to bring like an animal, like I brought a cow and like seeds, and I gave them to the person, and then you get the reward, and then it's done. So from time to time, they'll come with new rewards to have. A lot of them aren't really worth it, but hey, I mean, I guess a banana cosmetic is kind of cool if you're into cosmetics and stuff. I've seen livid farm stuff, which is something I'm doing for Compcape right now, which was pretty sweet to do, and other stuff. So those are kind of worth it. There are different benefits as well in here, like for instance, if we're looking at these, you can plant a 4th spirit tree in the very beginning, so that's something for Compcape, which I am about to hit at 114 farming, so close. This one is weekly farmers in need of the farming guild will now request your service. Also, limpwort root is doubled, so if you guys, anyway, this is getting really in depth, but if you want to do like herb runs and do limpworts, you'll get double limpworts when you do this, which is pretty sweet because it actually is pretty good GP. This one's shiny animal cell for 10% more beans, and the ability to build the remote farm machine. Haven't built that, not gonna lie. Kind of cool about shinies. That's not very OP though, because usually you keep shinies. They look cool, right? Maybe I'll show you some after this. But let's see, this one. Animals have a less chance of becoming diseased. That's pretty solid. Buyers on farms will buy twice as many small animals. That's good because you will have so many rabbits because they F like rabbits. They F like rabbits, right? Anyway, so you'll need to sell a ton of rabbits, tons of chimchampas. That's actually really OP. Bloodwood tree, that's sick, right? Maybe you have checked out my herb run video. I don't know, once again, it's not like the best comprehensive herb guide ever, but it's just what I do because it keeps money up to around a 20 mil GP rate for the 3 minutes that you're doing it. You get like a mil in 3 minutes. It's pretty chill. And anyway, I incorporate this bloodwood tree run into that because it's like a free 60k in like 10 seconds. Maybe I'll go show you after this. And yeah, buyers on the farms will buy twice as many medium animals. That's cool too, because you used to hit like limits. Like you'd sell to these guys right here, and like he's like, all right, I'll buy like 2 of them, and then he's like, see ya, and he teleports out. You have to wait another 24 hours before you can, or until reset, right? Until you can then sell them again. Just super annoying. So then this one, same thing with large. So you have twice as many large animals you can sell, and 5% increased chance to a shiny animal being born. That's pretty sick. I actually didn't know that. So we'll talk about shinies in a little bit, in a second here. This is then Grandmaster Farmer. All animals sell for 10% more beans. It's pretty nice as well. We're gonna get there slowly. We think. Suck, I forgot what. I was gonna go show you. Oh yeah, the bloodwood tree. Let's go check that. So I mean, if I do bolt tips. So I mean, you can buy these Bakrimal bolt tips from a chick in Edgeville. It's gonna be a long guide, sorry guys. But if we fly up to Edgeville real quick, it's like 10 feet away from here. you go to the northwest. There's this random Mami Rimba. She's just like dancing on this tree like a crazy looking person. Anyway, if you trade her, you can buy bolt tips here. So I'll buy 500,000 GP. And yeah, so I will usually keep these in my inventory during herb runs, also for these runs as well, because it's just easy money. Also, one thing that's cool is you will sometimes, when you're farming, get money tree seeds. Literally, I mean, they say money doesn't grow on trees, but it literally does. And I forget what level. I mean, I really forget. I'm pretty sure it's like 119 or it's 119. I'll check right after this. But this is the money tree patch right here. And when you plant the trees here, you'll put the seed in, and I believe it's between 1 and 4 million GP. You just pluck it off the tree when you're done. It's like pretty cool actually. So I think I have like 10 or 12 seeds by now. So it's gonna be a nice like random 20 mil GP by the time it's done, right? So anyway, this has been the tree. You just boom, Bakrimal bolts. Look at that, it's been 60K. Like 10 seconds, just because. It's kind of fun. Money tree is cool once you get that high of level, though obviously you probably won't have that for a while. You got the herb patch here and a spirit tree. If you want to use that to get here, you can. I usually just use the already lodestone down here. All right, time to get into traits probably. I'm gonna kind of keep this semi, I'll deposit all this crap real quick. Probably keep this semi-brief just because it is actually pretty complicated, but I'm gonna make it really simple here. Let's actually run in. I'm gonna show you with my Zygamites over here. Show you what we're dealing with. Pull them out for a second. So we're like checking these out. You see that we have traits here, bottom right. So you will have either a 1 trait animal, a 2 trait animal, or a 3, right? And the way you do this, to use this example, we just remember the sheep we just checked. That's a 1 trait sheep, right? So you can click it and it'll say what it does, right? Once again, there are like 40 to 60, I want to say, different traits you can get. So there are just too many to kind of remember what they do, but you'll once again, through repetition and through experience doing this, you'll begin to see what everything does. And plus there is this button that you can click, though it won't always be extremely clear what it does. But this one is clear, and it says this animal has a much higher breed chance than other animals. So this means that if you like throw this in a pen, mind you, it has to be older in order to have kids. The children or the what's it called? Eggs can't have kids, but once it is of age and can consent, this thing will have children faster than normal because it has this studly trait, excuse me. So yeah, that's like a 1 trait. And so you'll breed animals, and then usually they'll have the same amount of traits as their parents, right? But that doesn't make sense, because then think about that. You're stuck having a 1 trait one forever. So how do you get to 3 traits or 2 traits and then 3 traits? Well, how you do that is by breeding them and having specific traits. So for instance, if this sheep had the genetic instability trait, this says the unusual genetics in this animal means its offspring are more likely to have multiple traits. So if I chuck this in here, let's see, I believe that was Marlene. Yep, genetic instability. And then this one, chuck it in there. So now, this pair together, right, female and male, you can have this in multiple slots, right? You can have the same trait in multiple slots if you want. You could have 3 Studleys and whatever you want to really consider. But because this has genetic instability, let's say, I don't know exactly the numbers, right? But it might be like a 5% chance or a 10% chance per trait that these 2 Zygamites offspring will then have multiple traits in its child. So, let's say back to our 1 tier. If you only have 1, and let's say like this one, well, how do you get genetic instability in this one? And mind you, there's another one, I forget it. I think it's genetic mutation as well that lets you have child with multiple traits. But so okay. So this one only has one. It's Studley. How do you change it? I can't, how do you change it? There's no button. Well, what you do, and this is why I have no beans right now. Rest in peace, Yeps. But you run over here to our handy dandy farmer's market. Go into miscellaneous rewards. Just kidding, I lied. We go into here. And there's a trait reroller. Oh wow, that's cool. So if you buy one of these suckers, and then let's go use it on my Zygamite just because. So I would like to change. Actually, I don't know. It's a good combo right now. Let's go to this one. Okay, so this one's great. Yes, this one kind of sucks anyway. Okay, so this one is a producer. It's one tiered, right? Just like that sheep example we're using. Oh, it's got producer. This just means that when you harvest it, it'll have more materials than normal. Great, whoop-de-doo. So, oops. We want to change this producer. We want to get genetic instability, right? So what you'll do is use an animal trait reroller token on the animal, and it'll say reroll producer. If there are multiple, if there's 2 traits, it'll let you choose which one you would like to substitute it for. But this one just has producer, so we'll click yes. And then we got sparkling. That's actually a good one, nice. And so now we have the sparkling trait. And there's something almost shiny about this animal. So the sparkling trait, for whatever sake, this just helps you get sparkly animal, or shiny animals, excuse me. It's like a 1% bonus or 2% by numbers, because I just know that it's the least of the 3. Okay, so yeah. So let's say that we got genetic instability now, right, on this one. We would then throw it in whatever pen, the breeding pen, or otherwise, and it would then have children, and it would have a chance to get a 2 tier, right? And this whole time you're selling the animals you're getting to those, remember the traders over here by the well? We're going to be selling them there to get beans, right? And then with those beans, you'll buy those trait rerollers. And then let's say like your 1 tier with a genetic inferiority has a child with 2 tiers. Well, you take that one and then you reroll this 2 and you get a genetic inferiority on that one, or a genetic mutation. And then that will enable you to then get up to a 3 tier eventually. So it's a slow progression, and eventually you'll get to these 3 tiers. I mean, right now even I only have 1 that's 3 and 1 that's 2, right? But you'll get eventually to 3 tiers. And, well, why would you do that? Why would you care? Well, one of the fattest requirements for the completionist T-Cape, right? Let's see if I can find this thing. It should just be under player on farm. But where are you? Where is it? Called YIO or something? I don't know. Oh gosh. Oh, there it is. Complete the breeding log. What the heck does that mean? Well, remember over here with Sam the sheep? Here with Sam. So, well, in order to be comp T, you have to have all of these done. So I have all 4 rabbits, I have all all 5 chickens, all the Chinchompas, all the sheep, spiders. So if you look at that, I've had almost all the spiders. I need to get the stupid fever spider still, Zygamites, and on the end of each one of these is the shiny animal, not spider, the jackalope, the lizard chicken, funny names, golden Chinchompa, golden sheep, Araxite spider, all these magical Zygamite, Harlequin cow, sacred yak. These are all the shiny animals. So what the heck is a shiny animal? Well, maybe I'll show you, because they look, first off, they look super cool, right? Like they just do. So for instance, the dragon shiny is the royal dragon, and like, just for fun's sake, look how freaking huge this thing is, and it's sick looking. But you have to breed it. Well, how do you breed it? How does a green dragon bang a black dragon and get a royal dragon? I mean, that doesn't really make sense. Well, in order to get these shinies, they have to have the right traits. What traits are they? I mean, once again, not to go crazy in depth, but for shinies, you want to have either sparkling, glistening, or radiant. Those are the 3 that will allow you to then have shiny offspring at a higher chance. They can have them anyway, right? But it's very, very low. It's super, you know, it's horribly low. It's extremely tedious to come back and check day after day after day without any luck, because they have another black dragon or another green dragon offspring. It takes a long time in order to get the correct type if you're not using those glistening, radiant, and sparkling traits. So that's what you'd do. You'd, once again, with the beans that we talked about and the trait rerolls from the shop, you'd reroll and try to get sparkling, glistening, and radiant on your ones. So typically, and this is where the money is, we'll maybe talk about this in a Player on Farm 2 video, but you would then, you know, take these, for example, this one has sparkling, so that's one of the shiny traits. You could get up to 3, and it has, then you would have the maximum chance to get a shiny animal. So we would then, let's say that we have like a 3 tier that we want to turn into a shiny breeding animal. We would then re-roll each of these. So we'd re-roll Studly and Genetic Instability until we get sparkling, glistening, radiant, which is the best combo. And at that point, you would then have like a 10% chance for this one to have an offspring, or something like pretty high, honestly. And then you can do that with both of the parents, and you'll have a very good chance of getting a shiny animal out of it. Oh boy, that was a lot of stuff, wasn't it? I've been talking for like 40 minutes now, and blah blah blah, wearing my voice out, wearing you guys out. You're probably not even watching anymore because holy crap, we like info fast. But that is pretty much everything that I can think of here. I mean, the absolute last thing I'd say here is you can get other fun things in here that'll grow plants really fast. You can get deeds. This is also, I mean, the Master Farmer outfit has its own perks that you can, I'm not wearing it, but you can wear and get extra perks for like selling beans and speed of animals growth and stuff. So that is worth getting when you can get it. You can get like a, look at that, that's a override for a pet. And then other cool things, you can get herbicide, which is awesome here, and then the seedicides. These will destroy seeds in combat, giving you twice the usual planting XP. So that's like worth it. If you do it at like Turoths or something like that, you can get a lot of farming XP an hour, maybe like 70 to 100k, I'd want to say. Herbicide, this will destroy herbs that are like really cheap, and it'll give you herbivore XP. And then if you get these upgrades, which are expensive, I mean, look at this, 25,000 beans, but I got one of them. With upgrading herbicide with herb collecting, will pick up the herbs that are not burned. So basically, if you like have that active and you're Kriara or something, it'll just pick up Quarms, it'll pick up Lantidimes, and just plop right into your inventory. It's really nice for Slayer or any PVM where you like really just don't want to pick them up. Besides that, there's like a deed and stuff with titles, but that's 250. Okay, the last thing is in the store that I'd really recommend is the Storm Barn. This is just bank spot, literally just bank space just for animals. You'll have to build it with like rune nails and stuff. It'll tell you what, or you can look on the wiki, but you will build the Storm Barn, and then that will allow you to put a crap ton in here. I believe it's either 15 or 30 in the beginning, and then you can have subsequent upgrades to get up to 60, which I just maxed it, and I am loving life because I can stick so many animals in here. Also, it's collective with your Player on Farms too, so like I have dinosaurs in here too. Alright guys, that was a stupid amount of information, right? But that is the basics. Like that is everything explained that you will possibly need to know to start off. Once again, I definitely do forget things from time to time in my videos. If I did forget anything that you think is worth mentioning, please comment it down below and make it a public comment so we can all talk about it down there and make sure that we have an understanding of what this is and how it works and what the point of it is. You're pretty much going for either money, XP, or Complicate Trimmed if you are here. And yeah, hopefully this guide has been helpful and you'll be able to learn a thing or two and be able to start managing your animals here. So thanks so much for watching, guys. Have a good one.